Welcome to my home. This is only the 6th map I've played on Vintage Story, and I've been playing Vintage Story since 2016 when it first started. I have played 400 hours on this map, but I think it is time to say goodbye, so I thought I would do a last tour of my beloved house and show you round. I'm sure that some of you who have been with me since the beginning of this map will feel as nostalgic as I do, and I'm sure you will remember every step. To those of you who are new to my channel and who have joined me during my updates, welcome to my home. I don't know if you guys remember, but if you look on the map, I spawned in this area here, and as I always do, I headed down towards the sea, and when I got there I found there was this really jaggedy looking terrain, the sort of terrain that you would never in your right mind build on, all these individual bits sticking up. And I came down to here, and in here I saw there was a circular space in this cliff. Obviously it was meant to be a cave, but it didn't quite make it. And I knew that I could block off this between the rocks and the tree very easily with soil. I had a pond that I could grow things round when I first started, and the biggest sign of all is that over here on this block was a rusty gear, and it was just fantastic. I fell in love with it immediately and decided I would build here. So my first part of this build was just in this little area here. I immediately, it was actually medium soil, so I could immediately start planting crops and growing them. And I've had a pond and a well here ever since, and you can see that I've made terra preta and grown up to that. I have a tiny kitchen here with a lovely, lovely window looking outside. I have ovens, tables, cutting boards and knives. I've got a fruit press. Over here is where we make leather. And of course, terra preta. So from there, of course, the next thing I needed was a cellar, and you will note that I absolutely love malachite in limestone, and I found some, so I turned the cellar into that. When I started, this cellar was all dark rock, and I have gradually over the time transferred it into limestone rock. So we have a cellar, and through here we have a back door which leads out towards the garden, and this is devoted to forlorn hope things. Round here we have windows that I have taken from a forlorn hope tower and repurposed in the sort of shale rock that is right for this area. And up there we have a little tiny dining room, or anyone wanting to store something privately. I'm using the fanned limestone cobblestone, which was new. This world was generated in 1.20, and then it went to 1.21. And if you want to look at my map of my build, we are in this bit here. This is the original cave, and as soon as I had walked into this area, I looked up and I could immediately see still an open space to the sky, but a veranda all the way around and buildings surrounding this area. And as you can see, this is now a basement, a storage area, and then another area up there. And this is the original redwood tree that I found here. It hasn't changed. I do use a lot of teleporters. I mostly use them to get to my different traders. But through here, we have a room where we are progressing this way, and in here, this is for the first time, I use the BetterRuins mod, and these beautiful windows are from the Calyx. And as you know, I love lily ponds. So this room is a little bit of contemplation, and also the castle window here was taken from a Forlorn Hope castle. So we have a little lovely indoor lily pond, and the pond is actually original to this area. I just built round it. I did not destroy the pond. So we have a lot of things here. We have an art gallery, of course, and the art gallery continues through here and through here. We have storage, and mostly it's clothes, clothes and clothes. Wow, so many clothes and goodies and jewels. So this is our ground floor where it all started. But then of course you never finish there, do you? Through here, I've always had an enclosed area. These cliffs are enclosed, and these are my farms. Look at this, so much flax. It may not be enough in the next iteration. It may not be enough. Again, I've been making terra preta, so some of my high fertility soil has now been swapped in for terra preta. These are my bees, happily buzzing away making honey here. Let's carry on upstairs here. So we go upstairs. Look at this wonderful painting I found. And I have found lots of these windows. So we have beautiful casement windows here. And then on this floor, this is my storage floor, where I store things and pop things down and just generally enjoy myself. I have my dyeing vats here where I make dyes. And then through here, a little cubby hole for me. It just overlooks the bay, and I can sit here and read or talk to you. I've taken advantage of the beautiful, beautiful new tiles that have come in. I have managed to grow a tree, and it's a cherry tree. And this, my friends, is my aquarium. I have built an aquarium, and I have moved all these gorgeous plants in, and they are delightful to look at. So we actually have an aquarium. And then round here we go upstairs, and 120 was when the wattle and daub first came in. So my build is made out of wattle and daub, and it's the light brown wattle and daub, which goes beautifully with the walnut. I love this forge, absolutely love it. It is the perfect size for me. I can get everything in. Obviously we smelt over here. These are my forges where I heat things up. I have Helvhammer and I have a couple of anvils. We have our ingot moulds that then came into different colours, and it looks absolutely beautiful. So this is my forge area. We have our tools here, and we have panning and cooling things down in that area. So we have a lovely, lovely forge. This is one of the most comfortable forges I have ever worked in. And we are high up here. This base build, this floor is at 120, and we overlook this gorgeous area here. So coming through here, we have a mini aquarium. This is the first one I did, and this is where I decided I could make an aquarium. And you can hear the bees. That is the original beehive that I found in this world, and this is the beehive that has spawned all my others downstairs, and I have never destroyed it. I have just kept it. I have collections of scrap weapons, old weapons. This is the armory in here, which goes through various iterations. And then through here we have a balcony, and this is my collection of mushrooms, and we can look over to the rest of the build across there. So this build is in a U formation. Coming into here, this is the alchemy room where we have all our alchemy equipment, and we have our flasks. And as you can see, you start at this end mixing things, you weigh them out in scales, you do some more weighing here and a little bit of distilling, pour everything into flasks, and you can wash the flasks here with this. And we have one of our hanging censers. It is not an oil lamp, my friends. Over here we have the cartography books, we have globes, we have big globes, small globes, and sundials. So this is where we look at where we are in the universe. Coming round here we have more equipment for the alchemy, and then out on this balcony we actually just have a herb garden. This is lavender and thyme. Now these are in the BetterRuins mod, they are not in the normal vanilla game. That's where I picked those up. So we shift downstairs and you'll see that we have beautiful, very green grass here. So downstairs we have a bathroom where we can sit and have a bath overlooking the bay. We have vines, we have more beautiful windows. These came from the calyx. We picked them up there. And then upstairs, this is the first time I've built one of these, I have a fernery where we have all our beautiful green ferns. So coming down here, right, okay. This is a build I build a lot. It is an English greenhouse, I would call it, where we've got wood round the bottom, and then inside, this is my collection of plants. You can see what each plant looks like in the soil, in the planters, in the flower pots. However, I never found Edelweiss. I found Edelweiss in my first ever map, but I never found it after that. And I did not have much success in finding Rafflesias. But this is a lovely place to be, so we like that world very much there. And of course, we have our boat, and these are matching shields on each side, so that the three shields match whichever way you look at them, as do the two shields on the bow. And we have a wolf's head. We have the oil lamps, which have been a great thing, and my boat is called Starbringer. That is the outside of our house, and you can see that those beautiful windows, we found those in the calyx, and this is our additional bit that I built fairly recently, which all seems to meld in very well. Let's keep going up again. Right, and of course we grow our poisonous mushrooms next to the alchemy lab. Let me just check the time. Ah, we seem to have stopped time. That's ideal for what I'm trying to do here. Right, okay. I think what we should do though is to start time again. Time resume, and now it comes to life. Everything moves, the bushes move, the trees move. And I have not shown you my goat enclosure. Ah, we have to go and look at the goats. I have no milk, and I don't know what generation of goats we're up to. The real problem is that I love the goats so much, I could never kill one. So we tend to have just been a little bit lax. Let's hurtle round and look at our goats. These spawned in after some time. I was quite amazed when they spawned in up at the top there. But we managed to get them moved down to here. And look at them, they're absolutely gorgeous. I cannot bring myself to kill a goat. We have been feeding them. They have shelter, so they are perfectly well looked after. These goats do not like the rain. That's why they've got their own little shelter here. It seems to work perfectly well. So you can get a better idea of it through there. Let me come into here. Through this door in the forge is my bedroom, and it's also where I chisel, if I chisel. And you can see I've been keeping track, but I've now just done 400 hours, and my save is now 7,270 kilobytes. So I'm up to 400 hours on this map. This is a dearly loved map. You can walk around the edge here, have a look at what's going on. This is where we put our bloomeries. We have chests everywhere, of course. But through here, coming up here, we have a little balcony that overlooks the bedroom. And through here is our library, which has its own little place to sit and look round. Very pretty. And we have a little bit of an extension here. We never filled it up. And if we keep going up, this is the area where we are collecting bonsai trees. And it is a greenhouse. It is actually all glassed in, but this is glass that has been chiseled, and it's vintage glass. We have a lovely attic window here, and we have another lovely attic window over here, along with our crystal collection. So this is where we are sort of collecting oddities. And then up here is one of my pride and joys, which is my lookout post. And you will see that I've got the Millwright mod on here, though they're not moving at the moment. And this is the sort of neat, close arrangement we will not be able to have in future. These will have to be at the edge of the sails, 15 blocks apart. It's hard to believe, isn't it? But as well as Wattle and Daub, this 120 world was the first one where we could have wooden roofing. And as you can see, I have taken full advantage of the wooden roofing. And up here, we have our little lookout post where we can look out over the misty mornings and where you can see off to the sea. We can see this way to our very unique biome with all these upstanding little jutting rocks, little tiny mesas. And then over here we will go down and have a look at this. That's the rest of our farms, and that's the back over there. And we can, if we wish to, sit on the seat of Amun. If any Lord of the Rings guys, you will know that. And at night, that shines green, which is spectacular. Okay, let's keep going down. Okay, through here. All right, now, I had heard that we were going to have shelves and wardrobes. So I had built this dressing room so that we could look down on the aquarium but also so that we could put shelves and wardrobes round. But this room is never going to be big enough, and certainly not for the mannequins. It was an effort at gaining some space. This is where we have the pulverizer and the quern. And then out here, I've managed to grow a beautiful, beautiful pink apple tree, which is absolutely lovely. That has been a great joy, as has the cherry tree. These are blueberries. I doubt whether we will be able to use the berries again. I have pigs, masses of pigs, and of course we have our pumpkins, which were chiselled into lamps. We came out here and we have a passageway across the lake. You can see the giant water lilies down there, and then over here we have a moon gate. Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely beautiful. I love moon gates in real life, and they look spectacular here. Absolutely spectacular. It's all lit up at night, of course. So coming back through here, I'm going slowly so that you can see the bridge with the roof. It does rain here, so that's why we've got a lot of roofs. And then in here we have our barn, which is warmly covered with hay, and our elk, who has his head in the corner. So the barn has plenty of fresh air, as you would wish for an elk. He has his own little area here that he can come out in the summer. And then this, and remember these just came in the last 1.21. This is our brick kiln, and I absolutely love it. I wasn't sure whether water going down the chimney would cause it to go out, so I have put a roof on it. But then it looks so much like a mini castle that I put some flags up. It looks great, actually. This area, I wanted to have fruit trees surrounded by flowers, but it was not to be. My fruit trees all died. So we put Mediterranean cypress there. That's the door for the elk. And then over here, we had a special room, which is beautifully light, where we can make clay and form clay and do things like that. So this is a clay forming room, and you can see that we have put the different coloured bricks that we can get, though that will change now, I believe. And hasn't the papyrus texture improved? And then of course another pond. We always like ponds. And over there is where we grow our pumpkins, and we use blueberries, of course. So coming along here past our chiselled pumpkins, I want to show you some stuff that I've found. Yeah, you will see that we have, oh, yeah, we're okay. I found these amazing pillars and these things in one of the BetterRuins mods, and to me it just looks like Jurassic Park. This is an area I was working on to make it look more lush, and in comparison to where I found it, this is lush indeed. So we have the sort of Jurassic Park door here. These were our original pit kilns that look really, really nice actually. They really do look good. And I've dotted everywhere. I have berries for decoration. You can see that I have chiselled this corner of my build here. And I collect seashells as always. I have a raft here, and as you saw, our boat is moored round the corner. Let me actually go into creative because I want to fly up and show you my build from a distance. It is absolutely spectacular to me, and you can see how I have utilized the piles of rock and earth, and I have built on them and then built out, and I have supported the whole build like that. So we have this, I think, rather nice looking build. Go a little bit further. There we are. Yeah, 400 hours. It's amazing, isn't it? And we have always had a companion on the horizon, in the middle of the thing, just above my cursor. Can you see the witch? She is crouching there on the horizon, and she has been our constant companion. So we have always had someone watching over us, and we like to think she is benign. We really like to think she is benign. So that is our complete build there. And coming round here, you can see the bits we went into, where we have the collections room at the top, where we have the greenhouse and the bonsai. We have the library here with this lovely patio. Then we have the stairs up and down. Over here, the path over here to the moon gate. We have our lovely area here, and then down here, this is where we have the bath, the fernery, and then the alchemy room. And you can see from the back how neatly this all fits together at the back, with our lily room, the aquarium. That's the room where we teleport. This was meant to be the dressing room, but it's just not going to be big enough. And that's the apple tree. So the apple tree there and the cherry tree here are two trees I have managed to grow. Every other tree I have planted has faded and died, so fruit trees have not been a great success here. So my friends, this is the view so many of you have seen for so long, and this is a dearly, dearly beloved world. It really is. And just to show you how far we've come, we have done so many things. I can't get far enough out, but I actually, when the Resonance Archive turned out to be right down here, this is the Resonance Archive, so I had to go all the way down there. And then when I wanted to go to the village, I had to travel thousands and thousands of blocks to get to the village. We've travelled all over here. It's no wonder it's, you know, close to 7.25 million kilobytes. Look at it. Had to go all over here. I mean, it is astonishing how far I had to go on that quest. That's why I think I've found so much. And in a way, that's why I've got so many teleporters going, really to cope with a whole load of things there. You can see where we've had translocators come up, sort of odd places. So, and there's another huge traverse I had to do here. We have got the village over here, and the crossroads. We'd never got to the university, never. But the other one we did get to was the lazaret. So we've managed to do the lazaret, the village, and the Resonance Archives. But you will notice something really odd about this map. This is a patchy world. Not many people play patchy worlds, and I think that it's been slightly neglected over the years. So I don't think I will play a patchy world again. So my friends, well, let me come back. this is goodbye to this absolutely gorgeous world. 400 hours is a long time to play on a world, and I have had such a good time on this world and I love it so much. But I've looked at, as you know, I've been looking at the update for 1.22, and I don't think this world is going to survive. I really don't. It's also, as I said, 7.25 million kilobytes already. I really don't think we can extend it any more easily. So, a farewell to my beautiful base that I love so much, and a farewell to this world. And yes, by the way, I do have meteoric iron chain armour. I just don't have it on at the moment. So, I feel quite sad about this, but very pleased at what I've built. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful house, and it's not just beautiful, it's really, really comfortable. This is a place that I started off in a little tiny cave, and I have made this whole build my own, and I have very, very successfully built on difficult terrain. So I don't want to say goodbye, but this world will be there, it will not be deleted. Bye bye my friends. If you like this, leave a like, and maybe consider subscribing to me if you like my building. Bye bye.